Alright. I got a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I went to my parents' house the other weekend, and I was looking through their refrigerator, like not for anything in particular, but just to see like what they had, because they weren't home. And they had in the refrigerator, there's like one of those big size boxes of raisins. Like, I don't think you need to refrigerate raisins though, because they already used to be grapes. So I don't think it can really get any worse. So I say, don't waste the space. So I stuck around for dinner. My stepmom made tacos, like, you know, ground beef and lettuce and tomato and onion, all that jazz. And like as we were sitting down, she asked me, "Do you want hard shell taco or soft shell taco?" And I was like, "Well, if I have the option of a soft shell taco, why would I want a hard shell taco? This is like the worst thing ever. It's basically like a trough shaped tortilla chip, okay? And 99% of the time, first bite into it, like a third of it falls apart. Okay? If that doesn't happen, the grease soaks through the bottom and basically like melts through, and it splits into two pieces. Or sometimes you just shatter the whole thing when you're trying to pick it up because you don't know your own strength. But either way, you have to end up cleaning it up with a fork. Or like trying to scoop it up with the busted pieces like they're real tortilla chips. But either way, I think hard shell tacos should just be called future taco salads. Because that's what they are. When I was a kid, I was in Boy Scouts, and I was actually became an Eagle Scout, and you had to do like a one big project to get your Eagle Scout. So for my big project, I built this big deck with like a teepee on it for these kids at this summer camp. They were all in wheelchairs, like most of them were in wheelchairs. So I made this like big deck that they could like roll up onto this deck, and they could like roll into this teepee, and they could like camp in it overnight. And there's like kind of like a big sort of patio area on the front of it, like a railing around it, so they could like hang out there, whatever. I didn't quite finish it though. The only thing, like, I got the teepee and like set it up on there and like had the railing all nice, like all the deck boards and everything. We never put a ramp on it. I never got around to putting a ramp on it, so none of the wheelchair kids could get on it. But anyway, I did get it. But either way, I got my Eagle Scout. And they told me then, they said, once you're an Eagle Scout, you're always an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, but you're the hard shell tacos.
And I was thinking about that the other day, and I thought, if I'm still an Eagle Scout, I think I'm still at risk of being molested by one of my scout leaders. One time when I was at Boy Scout summer camp, I was barefoot running from like the changing house to the waterfront, and I stepped on I was like running down this dirt path, and I was barefoot, and I stepped on something that I knew wasn't like a stick or a rock or anything because it was moving, and it was a snake.
Oh my god!
It was terrible. If you don't know, snakes are disgusting. They're basically the worst creature on the face of the earth. Really, the worst thing about them is that they don't have any legs, and they move across the ground without having legs. And I don't think you can trust something that moves across the ground without legs. Like, I don't know if you guys know about that Oscar Pistorius dude. He was an Olympian who didn't have any legs, and he killed his girlfriend. So don't trust anything that doesn't have legs.
Is that why you didn't build a ramp for the wheelchair?
You don't trust him.
That's what happened.
Also, you shouldn't date snakes.
Oh shit! I better cancel tonight's plans. Shit.
I watch a lot of Law and Order.
He does.
Like all types of Law and Order. Original Law and Order. SVU. Criminal Intent. Law and Order Los Angeles. There was only one season. Wasn't that great. Then they canceled both of them. But either way, I've seen pretty much like I'd say 80% of all existing Law and Orders. Big fan. But I've seen so many of them now that when I want to sit down and watch one, I have to like kind of mix it up a little bit because I've already seen them. So one of the things I'll do sometimes is I'll go into like the menu and I'll turn like the color all the way down so it's black and white and pretend like it's an old timey Law and Order. And sometimes I mute it and then make up voices for them like they're talking old timey. Sometimes, so we have like the Netflix. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll set up my computer next to the television set, and I'll play 2 different episodes, okay, and I'll start them at the same time. The only thing that it has to be 2 different sets of detectives. Doesn't matter. It can be from the same series as long as there's 2 different sets of detectives. I start them at the same time, and then I see which pair of detectives can solve the crime first. Sometimes I take bets. Another thing I like to do, and this sometimes it involves like multiple viewings, but I like to try do it all in one shot. What I'll do is I'll take notes during the investigation portion of the episode, just really paying attention to like everything that the detectives are doing, you know, trying to catch them slipping up, maybe not following the rules. Write down a bunch of notes so that by the end of the episode, I can have a written appeal for the guy that just got sent away to prison. Fucking bust him on technicalities. It's kind of like my own fantasy public defender league. One thing I've been noticing a lot more of lately, I kind of don't get it, is like people having portrait pictures taken in front of like shitty old buildings, like downtown, like old warehouses and stuff. Like, I see a lot of it. I see it driving through downtown, people getting their pictures taken and stuff. Like, I don't understand what they're trying to say with that. Like, I'm graduating, and I love shitty old buildings. Like, these crumbling bricks match my dress. Or like, hey, we're getting married, and we're moving into this dump. So we really need the stuff on our gift registry. Like, tarps, hard hats, work boots, sledgehammers, rat traps. That's very much it for that. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense.
It made sense, Adam.
No, I mean getting pictures taken in front of shitty old buildings.
Oh.
I think I kind of like think of myself as like somewhat of like a environmentalist, or like someone who's like kind of environmentally responsible. So I always like recycle everything, and like I do like composting, which is just like I throw my food scraps in the backyard. I try to turn lights off and use like the compact fluorescents and like be eco smart. But like one of the things I have a really hard time with is water conservation. Like, well, sort of. I mean, I'm down with the if it's yellow, let it mellow like strategy. Like that works for me. But they say you're only supposed to spend like 5 minutes a day in the shower. And that sucks, because like I love taking like a super hot, like kind of long shower, especially in the wintertime when it's cold out, or if I'm like feeling kind of sick. But fuck, 5 minutes, it's like you're just getting going. You're just getting to the part where like the water is actually scalding hot, but it doesn't feel like it because you've been standing there so long. 5 minutes, you're just hitting your stride. So what I figured out, to be more responsible, I just take one 25-minute shower once a week. That way, I'm getting maximum pleasure. I'm getting 5 times as clean. So that way it should last for the entire week. That's all.
Yeah!
Yeah!